Welcome to the Boot Business Podcast. We are talking all things exotic bullies.
Okay. Thank you guys for joining in for another episode. This is episode 6 of the Boot Business Podcast. I'm your host, Charlie Brown, and today I got my guest, Muscle Tones Bully Bashar Dowd, doing his thing. Go ahead, introduce yourself, Bashar, and we'll hop right into it.
What's going on, everyone? Let me go inside, brother. I get a better reception.
No problem.
Go ahead, keep going. I can hear you.
Okay. And we're gonna do a little recap on that award, man. I need you to tell me about that award you was awarded at the ABKC about the True Bloodline. I would like to talk about that, man. We gotta talk about that True Bloodline award, man. How you feeling? How's everything looking in the camp?
Yeah, everything's great in the camp. Thank you for asking. It's on autopilot, so it's been on autopilot for a while. So thank God for that. Else than that, the whole bloodline situation. Well, then, that was last year. It was a surprise. Yeah. I didn't even know they had such a thing. So I guess it was just like.
His reception. Your Wi-Fi signal, I guess, Bashar, is kind of going in and out.
It's so big.
Yeah.
It changes. Even in two different Wi-Fi, so big, so. It's annoying.
We can barely hear you, Bashar. Your signal. Your signal got a bad signal.
No.
You kind of choppy.
I should be. Let me check my Wi-Fi. Let me see which one.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me change it.
Okay. He changing his Wi-Fi.
What about now? Now it should work.
Yeah. Everything looking good this year now.
It gets stuck sometimes. It gets stuck on different Wi-Fis across the property. I don't know why it does that. It should automatically switch, but it doesn't.
Yeah, you know how that go, man. Anything made by man will fail sometimes.
Yeah. That's why AI is going to take over the world. AI is not going to take over shit. You can't even get ChatGPT to do anything right.
Exactly. Hey, I'm on your side on that one. You was telling us about the bloodline again. Now we can hear you.
Yeah, so I wasn't aware that I was going to give out the award. It was a really nice gesture, and I received the award, and it was, like Dave said in that interview, Muscle Tone is the only true bloodline of the American Bully. And what he meant by that, when people asked him, and I asked him again later on too, to make sure that I wasn't catching it wrong. I'm the only bloodline who's producing the actual look of what the American Bully breed should look like, and that's why Kaza and Bean were the two dogs that they used to write the standard with. Which is a funny thing because neither Kaza or Bean, when they went to 3-4 nationals each, neither one of them ever won nationals because the judges don't understand what a bully should look like when they were the actual dogs who the standard was written off of. But anyway, that's another story. But that's what Dave meant by it. He's like, you're the breed, muscle tone dog when you see it. It's a real American Bully. There's no, exotic looking in them. There's no, bulldog trades or pit bull trades or staffy trades. It's a true American Bully, a real deal. So that's what he meant by that.
Yeah. You got some big dogs that very extreme. If you need some bone, you need something that's gonna have some true mass on it. They look good.
Yeah,
they look real good.
It's a full around. It's a full around line. We have rears, we have fronts, we have the widest chest spread in the game, the best shoulders, we have the widest rears. We have the biggest heads, we have the most bone, we have the most girth. and we have the most amount of extremes, and we have the most amount of champions and grand champions ever produced. So the overall, it's like, you know, it's the ultimate bloodline. It's the only bloodline.
How many champions are in that program you running that you produce yourself?
Last time I had a count, and I sat down with Dave's wife Diana to do it. We were at 76 grand champion, and it's way more now, I'm sure. Yeah, and we were at 132 132 champions and 76 grand champions. But that was like 2.5 years ago. So we have way more than that now.
Good God. Yeah.
And those were produced by Muscle Tone, by me, or by one of my partners, guided by me, either way. But those are Muscle Tone produced champions, like by the team, you know.
Man, you most definitely set the bar. You most definitely have set the bar. How long have you been in the breeding game? That's something I forgot I wanted to ask you that.
I started with the bullies in 2000, but my first litter was in 2001.
Gotcha. Okay.
Well, it was December of 2000. Let's just say that. It was the end of 2000.
Yeah. You've been doing it a good bit. You most definitely been doing it a good bit. Because I know,
26 years.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I've sat with my people, man, and we've talked about bloodlines. We talked about what makes a great stud. We talked about the judges. We talked about what to add, what to subtract, what carries most bone, what's the hottest names, how to get more traction this way, that way. And I've watched your YouTube, subscribe to your YouTube. You already know that.
Mm-hmm.
I like what you're doing, but what made you keep that formula simmering and like you got it?
Well, the formula for the breeding and the formula for the marketing always progressed and changed. It was never the same formula. You got to change with times. Like Bruce Lee say, be like water. You know, I mean, you got to move with things. You got to reshape yourself. So when I started, I was doing XLs. That was the thing back then. XLs were everyone had a big headed dog, and the only way to get it was to get an XL, because a dog that's 23 inches most likely gonna have a bigger head than a dog that's 17 inches. You know, pockets were not a thing. They didn't have pockets in the early 2000s. They didn't even exist. They were like Staffy bulls. You know what I mean? You didn't have a real pocket bully. The first pocket bullies, they start to come around 2007, 2008. You might have one here and there. And around 2009, I had like 16 pockets, which everyone on the internet was saying, there's only 4 in the world. I was like, there's 16 in my backyard. What are you talking about? So it's like, but that was the era where there was no social media, wasn't a thing yet. It was the MySpace days, you know what I mean? And, they didn't have dogs on MySpace. So we all used the MSN boards back then. The MSN boards was the big thing. And then there were your barbecues and your UKC shows and, some ABKC shows, because ABKC was only like a few years old at the time. It started in 2005.
Yeah.
So it's a different era, but I went from XLs to pockets, pretty much overnight. Like one day I was like, yeah, this is not working for me. I don't like the way they look. They're too long. They're too tall. They're not really, they're not what I want. And when I had my first pocket, I was like, man, I want them all to be that size. And my first pocket was 16 inches. It's not like he was like 13, 14, like my dogs today. But it was pretty short for that era. So I was like, I wanted the dogs to be 15, 16. And then I was okay with the females being 14, 15. And then they shrunk a little more than that, but they got wider. So it didn't bother me that they shrunk a little bit. So, but that's the program on the vision itself. But it took many different style of dogs, but all with extreme features to come together to create Muscle Tone. So unlike a lot of people, they're like, they're like, oh, I have this line and that line. In reality, they just have Gaudy line, or just Razor's Edge, or just, maybe a outcross of 2 different type of lines. Because at the time, Gaudy line and Razor's Edge were technically a bloodline. Even though Razor's Edge, I would have called it a bloodline. Gaudy line, not so much, because you couldn't tell a dog was Gaudy or not. They all looked different. There was no consistency. It just meant that Ron Gaudy was in the pedigree. That was it. And that, for me, that's not how you make a bloodline. See, Razor's Edge didn't do that. Dave didn't just, say, oh, here's Razor Edge because everything's off of Remembering Cairo or everything's out of Sadie Paddington. No, Dave had lines without Sadie Paddington and had dogs without this, without that. It was a look that he was building, and that's what a true bloodline is. And he was right. And I see this a lot, like Dax line. Dax line is not a line. I know he has 2,500 offsprings and they all look like him. That's nice. Produce enough kids, you're gonna have a lot of kids that look like you. That's not a bloodline. But nevertheless, I understood where Ed was coming from, and why he felt that way. But it's not technically a line. It's just gaudy, right? It's not, doesn't have any outcrosses in there. I mean, he brought Mike Lennon, which was already gaudy in the back. So, but he had a consistent look because he had so many offsprings, and Dax was a very consistent producer for his time. So he kind of had an exceptional. He was an exception to the rule. Let's put it that way, But the majority of and I'm not gonna name the other lines. I don't want to say anything about anybody, but there's a lot of people whose kennel name ends with line. Even people who I work with, and I've told them before. I said, remove the line from the end of your program because it doesn't make sense. It isn't a line, but that's what they want to go with. That's what they want to go with. Like, it is not called muscle tone line. It's muscle tone bullies. It's muscle tone.
That's right.
Yeah, because it wasn't a line until it was a line. It took years.
Yeah. A lot of guys be like, okay, you got to be 4 generations into the pit, 5 generations into the pit. How far along?
No. 4 generations.
4
generations is a joke, bro. Even 6th generation, like it used to be 6th generation, top and bottom, all top and bottom, and they all had to been from different lines. It can't be. So if you go back 7 generations, none of the dogs could be related on that 7th gen, right? So for me, even that wasn't enough, because for me that made no sense. It had to go 9, 10, 11, 12. And it had to be outcrosses for at least 4 generations before you start counting the lines. See what I'm saying? So 4 generations of outcrosses, then you take the dogs that you've got, and then you do 6 generations of consistency. And then maybe then, if you've succeeded to produce a look that you want, and they're healthy and they live long enough and they've passed all the check marks, then you can say, okay, I think I got a line now. It starts here.
There you go.
Yeah, like Magoo, for example. Magoo is the beginning to create a line. He wasn't part of the line. He was the beginning to create a line. So Magoo, Barbie, at the time, what I had, Lilo, all these dogs that were like very massive at the time that were not related at the time of Magoo, that I bred Magoo to them. All those dogs were part of 4, 5, 6, even 7 generations of outcrosses that I didn't count as my lines, or a bloodline, I mean, that were just dogs I was mixing and breeding and whatever I can do to get to what I am today. You know what I mean? And then when Magoo got to there, then I started breeding Magoo to all these dogs. Then I started breeding, and I even purchased a dog named Yoshi from Mobera Blues, and I started breeding him just before Magoo to a bunch of my dogs to just bring in one last outcross into the game. But it wasn't, I would say, until probably Bean and Kaza were like borderline bloodline, not even. King Kong definitely bloodline. Beanstalk definitely. The Meagle definitely. Lester definitely. See, Apollo, for example, is not bloodline. He's 13 years old, sitting in the back. That was too far back in the day. So for me, I wasn't in a rush to make a bloodline like everybody else is. I made a bloodline. No, I didn't care about that. It was, for me, to just get to the consistency that I need in my program.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And make money along the way.
It helps. You know what I'm saying? It helps most definitely.
If you're not making money, bro, you're either gonna quit, you're gonna give up, or what the hell are you doing it for? What's the point?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because these dogs are most definitely expensive, and vet bills is most definitely expensive. I mean, because you gotta. It's like cooking in the kitchen. If you use old ingredients, you only gonna get so much out of that dish. Fresh ingredients is you got a better dish. You most definitely gonna have the people coming through your door for that. And I like most definitely what you're doing, man, because you not just here, you on the other side of the world with what you got going on.
Yeah, so there was a lot of things that happened along the way. Like once the vision was there, um, they wanted me to quit in 2007. A lot of the guys from the Elite Edge, not Dave obviously, but a lot of the guys in the Elite Edge, when they wanted me to join, and I didn't join because a lot of the guys on the inside were just little bitches, like little girls, just jealous and envious. You know what I mean? And I don't associate with crowds like that. You know. And they all thought they were gangsters, and some of them were gangsters. They're in prison now, you know. But to me, that those things mean nothing. You know, those kind of guys, they either end up in prison, or they end up dead. I don't waste my time with them.
Yeah.
But they were on the boards. They want you quit. Nobody wants you in the game. Blah blah. I mean, they were already coming at me because I was a threat from the beginning. And I remember, I'll never forget. I put a comment on the message board. I said, "Okay, you know, guys, what? I'll tell you what. If in 5 years I'm not the largest breeder on the planet, I'll quit. You guys have a deal." I made it in 8 months. So
that's a good thing.
Fuck it. It is what it is. And then they're all gone, and I'm still here. And they all tried to make me quit, bro. They all tried. Oh, he's gonna be out of business by next year. We're gonna destroy him. Like they would literally say these things, like online, publicly.
Why would they say it? What is that? What's wrong with them?
And like me, they don't listen. They're all your friends when they know you have something they can use. But the second you're so ahead of them, it's done, bro. They don't like you. Man, I had people I thought were my brothers, bro. They would come and stay at my house, sleep at my house. I feed them, pay their phone bills, bought them cars, like really looked out for them.
Yeah.
And whenever they could backstab me, they backstabbed me.
That ain't good for business.
Yeah. I never threw them under the bus. I never went online and said shit. Contacted them one-on-one, be like, you know, don't ever fucking call me again, bro. I treated you like a brother. Oh, no. I was like, no, I don't want to hear it. I don't give second chances, bro. I'm not Jesus.
Yeah.
I'm a nice guy, but I'm not. God can forgive. For me, I forgive them. I just don't want nothing to do with them.
Yeah. It's like that in a lot of camps. You know what I'm saying? You only good till you're not good no more.
Yeah.
And thing you have going right now, man, to be around this long, something had to most definitely been working right. You know what I'm saying?
God.
You most definitely, man, I tip my hat to you. You didn't pave the way for something new and for a lot of breeders. Because your blood, I've seen it. I've had paperwork with your blood in it. And I'm way out here in Louisiana. I've had your blood in my paperwork. Matter of fact, I have the granddaughter of Bugsy Siegel. Muscle Tone Bullies, Bugsy Siegel. Benny Siegel. Is it Benny Siegel? Benny Siegel. And she's big. She's a big girl. 82, 86 pounds. And she's something real nice. Real nice.
That's nice. I believe it.
I paid a lot of money. I paid a lot of money for that dog. So it works, whatever you're doing, most definitely.
I appreciate it. I mean, Muscle Tone's so big at this point that I think last time Dave said like it was in 70-some% of all pedigrees in their registry, you know? So 70-some% of dogs, bullies out there have at least Muscle Tone in them one time. I think it's more than that, to be honest with you. And I know that for a fact there's a lot of big name dogs today that claim they have no muscle tone that have heavy muscle tone in them. Heavy. They're paper hung. And especially lately, after my dogs were stolen, I had a dog brought to me a few months ago that was picked up north of Florida. And I know who stole my dog. We handled that situation, but she looked identical to Beanstalk. I mean, identical. Everything about her was just like she was massive. And the guy that brought her over is a friend of mine, and I'm not gonna mention any names to cause any problems. And he's like, "Dude, this bitch gotta be muscle tone. I gotta show it to you. I just picked her up." And he brings her down here. I'm like, "We DNA'd the bitch, bro. Not only is she muscle tone, she's 60% chance of being Beanstalk's daughter. Okay, and I don't have the dam because I don't know which dam she's off of. So she's most likely off of Beanstalk or Beanstalk's son, and her pedigree shows 0 muscle tone.
Crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But
and that's Beanstalk. I didn't even DNA her to Magoo or Kaza or Bean. I mean, I bet you that would come back even more. So
that's crazy. That's crazy. I mean, when you can look at something and like that's it. You know what I'm saying? You know you're doing something right. You know, because it's a lot of great breeders out there, and a lot of people have learned from your formula. I mean, I've seen comments on the YouTube, and you get a lot of thumbs up and likes, and people take that knowledge and them gems you drop in, and they have. I've seen it. I know 4 guys in my camp that had just tucked that and they ran with it. And one of my guys, man, he had a puppy born already over 2 pounds, a puppy, an infant puppy. So it works, you know. It most definitely works.
It works,
And
man.
yeah. That's another thing I want to ask you about. When you made that first big sale, how was that?
Which one?
The first one, does that Mr. Bean? Or was
No,
it
I mean,
Magoo?
Magoo was before
I
Bean,
know
and
they both broke the
before that
internet.
was
They both
before that was Yoshi, and before that was Stella.
damn.
I mean, it depends what you want to consider big sales. So
It was
when
everywhere.
I
So
sold Toshi, a Yoshi and Stella's son, you know, Stella's Magoo's
Yeah.
mom, for $50,000 in 2008, I think it was, or 9, I can't remember, one of those 2 years. Nobody had done that. Nobody had
that's
done that.
crazy.
I was selling puppies
That's
for 5 to 10 grand. Nobody had sold a dog for $50,000. He was a puppy. He was 6 months old. So that was a big sell. And then the same guy came back to me and he wanted to buy, you know, both parents. And I sold both parents for $150,000 for the set. So that was my first time, you know, I had a big figure. But Stella only had 1 more litter in her. She already had 3 litters. So she only had maybe 1 more, but they didn't care. They just wanted the whole family. They wanted dad, mom, and pup at the house. They weren't going to breed them. So you know, for me, that was a good sale. You know what I mean? At that time, it allowed me to invest into Europe and some facilities with my own money and grow the kennel over there, because Europe was on fire, because at the time economy was shit over here, and I needed to see the way I worked is different than how everyone else works. Everyone else, they're thinking, and you could tell just by talking to them, I could tell that most breeders, if not 99%, I would even say, their brain was not business brain. They're hustlers from the street, but they're not business people, right? So when you would talk to them like, man, I want to be the number 1 guy in my city. So what that tells me is that they just want to show off in front of their few friends in their neighborhood. You know what I mean? They're competing with the neighbor. I don't give a shit what my neighbor thinks of my dogs. I don't give a shit what my guy in the city next to me cares about my dogs. My brain was like, how can I make the maximum amount of money? The more, you know, I need a bigger market. So I already knew their brain and their thinking was small just based on those comments they would make. And they all would make it. It's not just 1 or 2. You know, be like, oh, I don't mind you take the dog and sell it, but just, I'm not going to sell it to anyone in my city because I don't want competition. Okay, now that you just showed me number 2, that you don't understand that competition is good. You want competition. You want someone with your dog that's really good in your neighborhood or anywhere. It doesn't matter where they're at.
Yeah.
They're pushing your line, but they didn't see it that way. So in that particular time as well, you know, there was the housing was crashing, the market was down, the economy was shit. You know, it was after 9/11 and all that. So, you know, when Obama took office, the one thing that happened was the euro went up and the pound in England went up, right? And I was like, okay, wait a minute. So it's cheaper now for Europeans and people from the UK to buy dogs from me than it is for Americans, because a $5,000 dog with only 3,000 or 2,800 euros, which is almost half, and in pounds was like $2,000, right? So I was like, I need to push my market in Europe. So when I made that sale, the first thing I did is you know, I had a partner in Belgium, but he didn't have a facility. I went over there, bought a place, opened the facility, and brought a bunch of dogs with me, and I was like, let's go. And in that particular time, I had the competition in Europe was some guy named Big Ben, and he was talking a lot of shit to one of my partners in France. And I used that as an opportunity. I was like, okay, all right. And my friend, ex-partner, he's a friend of mine today, he didn't have what it takes to survive the drama. Great guy, love him to pieces. He's a brother of mine, but he can't handle pressure. And his wife would call me, he's got to stop this dog game. He's in his room. He's not leaving the room. He won't go to work. He thinks people want to kill him because they were threatening him online. And for what? Over dogs. So, I speak French. So I was like, where's the forum? I went on the forum and I saw all the things they were saying. And it's stupid shit, bro. They're taking cheap shots. Oh, your mom is this and your sister is that. And and he didn't even have a sister. It's just like stupid shit. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I'm like, dude, this is gay. This is like high school crap. So I went online. I said, okay, I'm here to speak for my partner, blah, blah. I said, I'm going to give you an opportunity to apologize and back away. Or in 6 months, I'm going to put you out of business. Choose very carefully. I'm not French. So meaning when I said to them, I'm not French, because they know French people just like to run their mouth a lot, but there really is no bite behind them. They kept talking shit. So the week after, I took a dog named Troop, which was off of Stella's sister. He was bigger than Magoo. And Magoo wasn't even born yet. And I took 4 bitches over to Europe, into that facility that I just got. And I told all my partners, I said, you're going to hit every single show these assholes are at. And you're going to go live and you're going to stack next to their dog. And you're not going to take Troop. We're going to leave Troop to the Nationals. You're going to take the bitches. And after you stack, I want you to flip the dog over so everyone can see her vagina. I want everybody to see that that's a bitch that just beat that male. Mm-hmm. And they did. And in 6 months, he was out of business. They were gone. Never heard of him again. All of them. They never talked shit again. It was over. And at the same time, I dominated Europe doing so. Now everybody wanted Muscle Tone. And it was perfect for me because they couldn't afford Muscle Tone at the time because of the market in the United States was so bad because the dollar was shit. And it was all kind of like a strategic plan, and it happened to work. I was betting on it, and it was a good bet,
Yeah.
So, and it was a blessing from God, obviously. So, and it worked, and that's how Muscle Tone boomed in Europe. And then I threw an ABKC show, and Dave came, and Dave will tell you that was the first time he ever seen that many real American bullies in one ring. There was 168 bullies. 130 of them were Muscle Tone. The other had Muscle Tone in them. And every one of them was extreme. And Dave was like, I've never seen this many extreme dogs in one place. I didn't even know they existed, that many extreme dogs in one place. And I recently posted a picture of some of the dogs. Some of the dogs out there at that show. I think it was 2009 or whatever. It was a picture of me way back in the day with, I think I was holding, might have been holding Yoshi. I don't know.
I think that
2008 maybe. Yeah.
Like $4.
It was just before. Yeah. I think I was holding Yoshi. I think it was that week or two before Yoshi took off was his last appearance. So I'd have to go back and look. I don't remember. It's been so long ago. So that's how I dominated that market. And then, from there it was like dominoes. It was just wouldn't stop. The UK started blowing up. Then I started getting calls from Asia. My first kennel, believe it or not, was in Indonesia. It was not in Europe. I started with Asia. Indonesia and Thailand were my first 2 markets. And then it was Europe. Mm-hmm. Asia kind of died out with the economy went down because of the money situation, but then it picked back up. So, but we had that on lock at that time. So once I had that covered, then I was like, all right, it's time to shake up the USA a little bit. And that's what we did.
Yeah, you most definitely, man, that type of focus and energy. It's amazing you ask me because you've been doing it a while, man. You've been doing it and producing and constantly producing. And they have that look like you say. And that's what I most definitely like.
So like producing the dogs is not, it took work. Now it's easy. Back then it was very, very hard, but I have to give credit to God. I don't create. I put 2 dogs together, I pray, and I hope that it works out. I have an idea in my head. And the idea is probably given to me by God. I don't know. It's not like I'm some sort of like special genius or anything. But it worked out. I think what really succeeded Muscle Tone was the fact that I wasn't worried about the next guy and I wasn't worried about the hate. And I wasn't doing it to get a trophy. I was doing it for 2 reasons. 1, I had a goal in mind and I had to reach my goal. And 2, I needed to make money to reach that goal. So money was part of the deal. So, and I was able to not be obsessed with the breed. And I think that's why I got into dogs. When I notice how obsessed people are with dogs and cats and their animals, people are obsessed with their animals. It's like a disease, almost they need like psychological help. And that's why they fight the way they do online. I'm not obsessed with my dogs. I love my dogs, but I'm not obsessed with them. You know, that's obsession of anything is not good. Even being obsessed with your own kids is not good. Being obsessed with the church is not good. Obsession is just, it's a disease. It's not normal. You have to have a balance, a healthy balance. And if you could do that, anything else comes easy.
Yeah, that type of focus, yeah, and obsession, yeah, it most definitely could become a condition.
Mhm.
The thing with the young breeders, is there any advice that you can give the young breeders today? Because I went to a couple of shows and it's a lot of younger people in that game now.
Don't have hate in your heart. I always say it and I always tell you, hate will destroy you. Your ego is your worst enemy. A man with an ego will never succeed at anything he does. I don't care how high up he gets, he's going to get shot down.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, who it is?
That is true. That is true. You that ego has most definitely got in a lot of people way. A lot of people way.
Ego will destroy you. You know, so for me, success is not measured by money. It's not measured by accomplishment. For me, success is measured by how much control and self-control you have over yourself. That's success. If you successfully controlled your emotions and controlled your ego, you have succeeded in life. Because that's the
Most
purpose at the end of the day. Because you can make good out of anything. You can be good and not have a lot of money and live a very happy life. And you could be very rich and miserable all the time. Plenty of those. Again, because they don't have control over their emotions.
That's most definitely a true thing. I got a guy asking, what is the largest amount you sold one of your dogs for?
It was Beanstalk. Beanstalk was a $2 million sale. It's $4 million technically speaking because he's coned. And then later on, we kind of worked out a deal for a full sale to him.
Good stuff.
Mhm.
Good stuff. That's the big sale. That's a big sale.
That's the biggest sale so far, yeah.
And the first one I'm looking at was 1 million.
Magoo was 750 and Bean was 1 million. Kaza was 1 million just before Bean.
There you go.
Mm.
One of my other guys, I guess he got a vet question right here. He say, what do you give your dogs for dewormer?
What?
One of my guys saying, what do you give your dogs for dewormer? Your puppies.
Well, I use
your dog.
ivermectin, and I like Penacure too, but I prefer ivermectin. I think ivermectin works great. I give all my dogs one shot of ivermectin at the beginning of every month. The first of every month, I do all the treatments. Fleas, this, that. I mean, some of them are every 3 months, whatever, but I give all of them an ivermectin shot once a month.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's cheap. It works good. It's easy to do. It's quick. You don't got to sit there and shove a pill down their throat. I'll tell you one of the things that I do that I've never really told many people, only people close to me, is I give my dogs peptides. I take peptides. My children take peptides. My wife take peptides. My dogs take peptides. The peptide thing started for me back in the early 2000s when they told me that my dog Simba wouldn't live to 7. I was like, hell no, my dog's not going to die on me. I love that dog. So I started studying, reading up, blah, blah, and I found a lab that was testing peptides on mice for their joints, for this, for that. And there was a particular peptide that prolonged life and helped joints and helped the heart and helped this and that. I mean, it's not a miracle drug, but it helps a lot. And the research was crazy. And, you know, I contacted them at the time and I was like, you know, how do I get this stuff? And they're like, oh, you can sign up to be, you know, one of our, I forgot what it was.
Just stage. Yes.
I forget the word. Yeah. Pretty much a lab rat. You there?
That's my co-host, Jessica Rodriguez.
Oh, hey, how are you? Yeah.
Hi, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Yeah.
You say peptides? You did the research on it, Bashar?
Yeah. So now it's available. If you guys want, you can go to realcaninepeptides.com and you can buy peptides. And the one I recommend to everybody is Epitelin, and you can do the research on it. They gave that to mice, and mice live 2-3 years longer than their usual life, which is huge for a mouse. So,
That's
you know,
info. That's
that,
info.
is it one of the reasons my dog lives a long time? I had Simba live to 19. Magoo's still
Oh,
alive at
wow.
16.
19,
Bean's still alive at
6.
14. Claude's 15. Bison's 14. Apollo's in the back at 13, and they're all kicking and breeding and normal. They all take epitellin. I mean,
Good God, that's
And what kind
crazy.
of dogs are these?
American bullies.
Oh my God. Wow. I have an XL
Yeah.
that's he's already, what, 15 years, I think, around 14, 15.
That's
Yeah.
great. That's a good number. Yeah.
And he's already like senior citizen type dog,
Oh
but
yeah, it's
he's
15
still
for sure.
there. He is still there. I know he has arthritis and stuff, but ain't
Yeah.
no way I'm gonna put him down or anything.
Yeah.
Like, he's still eating, he's still good, he's lazy, but he's
Yeah.
still living, I would never do that. Yeah.
Yeah. So my dogs don't have any of those issues at 15, 16. They look like they're still 5 or 4.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and
Wow.
that is most likely that part is most likely the peptides, because it rejuvenates the organs and it rejuvenates.
I'm gonna
the
look
bones.
into that definitely.
Yeah. So go to realcaninepeptides.com. I don't know if you want to put it on your screen somehow, whatever. But
Yeah, Charlie, get that down because I'm in the vehicle, so I can't write it.
Yeah,
But yeah,
if you
get
forget,
that down.
just call me. I'll text it to you. But yeah,
Yes.
It's easy. It's just real canine, then peptides.com.
Wow, I'm
And
gonna
it's the only
search
place
that up.
the only place that sells real canine peptides, because everything else they have like in these pill forms or powders, it's all fake shit. The real shit comes in a bottle with powder. You got to mix the water with it, and you got to either give it a shot or you got to put it in the gums and make sure they hold it for 10 seconds so it goes in their bloodstream.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it works great.
Wow.
He's asking George, do you sell adult dogs ready to breed?
Yeah, I do. I mean, we just talked about selling dogs for quite a bit of money that are adults. But yeah, I do sell adult dogs. I don't hold on my dogs until they die. That's too long.
Yeah. So a lot of y'all most definitely can Google Bashard, and I think that website comes up. And most definitely, last time I checked, you get it, and he got a lot.
You can always contact me. Anyone can contact me. I talk to everybody, and the best way to reach me is on my cell phone. Is not on Facebook or social media, because I'm not joking. I get probably 50 or 60 messages when I wake up in the morning, and and I try to respond, and I do respond to everybody, but I try to do it first thing. But sometimes it takes me all day to get to everyone, and in the meantime, more messages come through. But a lot of it goes to spam. Like sometimes my spam box has messages from like 2016. I'm like, what the hell? I've never seen this message before. I don't know why. It's really weird. Really, really weird. I don't know how Facebook works. It's a mess.
Yeah, you're a busy man. You're most definitely a busy man. I'll be seeing you into the car club things, and I like that other car you got. That look like a Ferrari or a Porsche or something.
I have a lot of cars. Which one? What color is it?
You and Roy Jones rode in it. This one I seen when you and Roy Jones.
Oh, the Lamborghini SVJ, the Aventador.
Yeah, there you go. I said Ferrari, it's a Lambo. There you go.
Yeah.
So I ain't got one of those. I ain't got one of those.
You're from Florida, right?
Yeah.
Florida. What part of Florida?
Naples.
Ah. Wow. I heard Florida was real nice. I've been there once.
Beautiful.
No, I've been there twice, but it was just real quick. Once for Disney, and it was a dance thing, that Disney park, and then a second time to the beach, but not long. I didn't get to like stay there a week or nothing.
Gotcha.
I just know it's real nice and beautiful out there.
Yeah, especially Naples. I love this town. It's quiet. It's higher end town, so it's very clean.
Okay.
It's a cool town, man.
And how long you been breeding?
26 years.
26 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Wow, 26 years.
He is the first breeder to get the ABKC True Bloodline Award.
Wow, that's badass.
The bully,
that is badass.
Bully now has a look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's awesome.
That's crazy. That's why I'll tell them, Jess, I had to do this recap because I just had to hear it from him. It hasn't been really talked about, and everybody acting like they don't know, but they know. They know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all on YouTube everywhere. And
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy, man. Congratulations again on that, because
I appreciate it, bro. Thank you.
that bar, whether people like it or not, I have to say it, it's been raised. The bar been raised. And
Damn, well, that's some hard work. He put in some hard work.
Yeah, we put in a
Yeah.
lot of work. A lot. We
26 years
still
of
are.
hard work.
We're still putting on work, man. We always try to take the breed to somewhere no one else brought it. Like I know if you guys saw my last episode on YouTube.
I didn't see
Did
that
you
one.
watch it? Yeah. So you know we
I did.
yeah. So
Need to go
we went
catch
out to a
up.
big match. We introducing the dogs and trying to get the dogs in like famous people's hands, like John Jones and Kane and other big fighters. I'm trying to like meet them, get to know them. Maybe get them a dog.
Together. That big picture y'all took said y'all had this many
Yeah.
champions.
Yeah, we
Man,
all hung out that day, and we have each other's contacts. We try, they follow me on social media. I follow them. So now when they follow me, they get to see my dogs come up their feed. So they didn't know about this stuff. They never heard of it, and they have a big platform. So that's a different platform, right? So now we're talking all these fighters. If they end up owning a muscle tone dog, that's not only good publicity for muscle tone. That's publicity for the American Bully breed in general. Because people are going to say, who did you buy the dog from? They're going to say, what kind of dog is that? And he's going to say an American Bully. And that's good for everyone,
Mhm.
And that's what a lot of people don't understand. They try to shoot each other down. I'm like, dude, you guys don't understand how economy works. We all grow together. Like, we all need each other, so.
That is crazy.
That is crazy. I'm going to go back to the YouTube and start catching up on that. Now I'm going to be more interested in knowing.
He got a nice YouTube channel. It's very informational.
Yeah.
It don't talk about just one thing. It talk about more than just one thing throughout. I mean, it even talk about money management skills. Like it's a whole lot in there because a lot of people they make pretty good from these dogs, but they get the money. It's gone quick as they get it. You know what I'm saying? You have to invest in self. If you're not invested in self, then your money just throwing it out the window.
You have to. You have to know how to save money. You have to know how to manage money, and more importantly, you have to know how to lose money.
Yeah.
If you don't know how to lose money, you can't make money. And a lot of people, how do I say this? I'm sure you guys have heard the question: if someone stole $10 from you, are you going to spend $100,000 trying to get that $10 back? No, you're not, right? So it's the same concept. It's the same concept. Yeah, it's the same concept with time, right? So if I wasted an entire 2 years on something that didn't work out, am I going to spend another 10 years trying to make it work? That's insanity, man. Just give up on it and start over.
Yeah. Yeah,
so and that's the problem. Yeah, I'm very quick to let go and start over. Like it's not like, oh man, I'm almost there. No, this is not working. Let's just go to next step. Let's just go to plan B.
Yeah. Yeah, most definitely. Yeah.
And sometimes people they don't understand also, like, things happen in life. Dogs die, they pass away, or they get stolen, like in my situation. Does it set you back? Of course it sets you back. Of course it sets you back. But if that's all you have, that is everything that you had, then you did this wrong from the beginning. You're at fault. So, when you start, you have to start with, you have to play your cards properly. You have to have backup. You can't put all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah. That is true. A lot of guys.
I get it. If you just first started and something happens right away when you first started, that sucks. But you know what? You don't have that much time into it anyway. So you know what? You still have time. Go back and start again.
Yeah, that makes sense. And then people give up. People, when that happens, they just give up because the first time it didn't work out, or And I know people. They're like, well, that's not for me, or well, maybe it wasn't for them.
Maybe not.
It's not their.
Maybe not. If you're not built for it, you're not built for it. It is what it is. I've had a lot of people who spent quite a bit of money with muscle tone and could have done great because they had the great stock. They just not built for it. They just don't want to work. They just don't know what to do. They just don't want to put the footwork in. They just want things to just fall off the sky. They want to sit behind their phone and post things and just make money. That doesn't work. Like, you got to get the hell out of your house. You got to get off your damn phone, man.
You got to
people got to see those dogs in real. Yeah, you can't.
You got to go be networking. You got to network. Go out to get out there and go. Yeah.
I'm like seeing people post most extreme dog in the world. I'm like, how the hell do you have the most extreme dog in the world? Who did you defeat? Did you come here?
Yeah.
Did you defeat Muscle Tone? No. Well, how can you possibly sit there and claim you have the most extreme dog in the world?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I had that conversation like 3-4 days ago when they talk extreme. The dude brought his dog over to the house. I looked at the dog. My 8-month-old male was beside his 1-year-old dog and was way bigger. I'm like, That's not the move, bro. Like you need it. Some people scared to hit that restart button.
Yeah, and a lot of people they're also in a delusion because, like I said, they think because they have the baddest dog in their city or in their town or in their region, or maybe because they went to a couple of shows and there was nothing there to compete with their dog, that they suddenly have this great dog. Did you show up to nationals? Did you show up to the Euro Nationals? No. Did you come to the Muscle Tone camp and try? No, you did not. Stay quiet. Humble yourself.
Yep.
Yeah. That I guess if you can look at it from another end when they doing these dog things, like you got some good breeders, and
Yeah, there's a lot of good breeders out there.
They suck at promoting. They suck
at marketing.
You know what I'm saying? So the dogs sit there, great damn dog, great, but they not promoting. He don't know how. They don't know how to get started, and you know what I'm saying. Then you had an episode where you gave those type of advice, and it's free. That's the crazy part.
I don't charge nobody, bro.
It's free, and a lot of them don't tune in or they don't listen. It's one of the two.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm like, bro, that's a badass dog. And I get to looking at the pet, and I'm like, okay, I see why it's looking the way it looks. It's a great damn dog, but okay, what are you gonna do with it? And then you got some guys they think you just put two dogs together and voila.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell
think
them,
it's
bro,
that easy.
It's a such thing as breeding in something you don't want, and it's a certain thing as breeding away from what you want. You can breed in and you can breed out. So you gotta watch what you're doing, and you can't just take this great meal and just think it's gonna fix your whole damn yard.
No. Another thing too is a lot of people have very extreme dogs, but they're shit dogs. They can't walk. They can't breed. They die at 5 or 6 years old. They're not breeding stock. They're dogs you keep as a pet and hope that they don't die too soon. And that they don't suffer along the way. Okay. And in some cases, I would put them even to sleep because they're suffering. And those guys show up to big shows, and people use their studs, and they're very popular too. And no one understands. It's easy to make a big dog. I can make those big dogs all freaking day long. All day long. I got bigger dogs than that here. Except my dogs are not dying, and they can breathe, and they can stay in the heat, and they can move, and they can walk. And if they can't, I don't breed them.
Yeah.
I find them a home. And that it does happen. I'm not going to say this if it never happened to me. I had a dog come and, he had some issues. I had dogs with issues. No one's ever seen them because I don't breed them. They end up as pets. But the problem is they're so impressed with the substance, they forget that everything else matters. And then you got the other guy, the opposite guy, that has a dog that can move, that's healthy, that's great. And that's a better dog than the extreme dog by all means. But it doesn't represent the breed. That's not an American bully. That's a pit bull. And that guy thinks that because he's seen all these messed up extremes, that all extreme dogs are messed up. So then he assumes, muscle tone dogs can't breed. No. Those are not my dogs you saw. Just because they're big doesn't mean they're my dogs. So, and that's the problem. And again, it's always the people with opinion of those who've never put their hands on enough dogs, never traveled, never seen the camp here, never seen any of our camps across the world. And they always have an opinion. But anyone who's came, touched, and saw, you will never hear them talk shit. Never. Ask that question. Anyone talking shit? Have you been to this camp and touched his dogs? I've seen his dog at the show. They're full of shit. They did not. You seen my dog at the show? They're not saying that.
What dog show are you going to next?
I only go to nationals now, unless I'm invited to do something.
You should be getting ready to head to Houston here soon, huh, Bashar?
What's that?
You should be getting ready to head to Houston here soon for the nationals, right?
Yeah. Nationals is next. We just came back from Europe.
Me and you supposed to met last year in Dallas, but we didn't get a chance to hook up.
Yeah. So we did Europe, we did Romania, and then we hit Istanbul and stuff. We did some shows in Europe and Asia, and then we came back. That was pretty much King Kong's last tour. King Kong sold, and then this year we'll do nationals.
Yeah, because I'm going to nationals in Houston, so this year I'm gonna meet you there, most definitely.
Yeah,
we're gonna most definitely get out there, and Jessica, I'm gonna try to get Jessica to come out there and meet you in person.
Let me know what show that's gonna be on. Exactly, like send me the flyer or whatever so I can look at it and
I'm gonna see you
plan ahead.
Jessica.
Yeah, yes, please.
Like a hotel in and stuff. because it's gonna be crazy out there, and I can't wait. I'm gonna take my young male with me.
Yeah, Nationals always a show you guys gotta hit. It's the biggest show of the year, and if you're gonna hit any show, that's the show you gotta hit. I've never missed a national since they started in 2020 and 2005. So 20 nationals, I've been there every single one.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
what's up. That's what's up. That is most definitely what's up, man. And the thing, a lot of these younger breeders is don't be scared to lose, man. Losses come in this
No.
dog game.
Even I
I
lose.
know
Who cares,
exactly. That's the thing that's hurting a lot of feelings these days too.
bro? It's an opinion of one person. Who gives a shit? Doesn't mean he's right. 9 out of 10, he's wrong. 9 out of 10, he's wrong.
Yeah,
I don't. It's
you know
only
what I'm saying?
one time where a national winner was the same pick I had in my mind. You know, so
Yeah,
and then right and wrong and pretty or not pretty is all perception. My perception versus his perception. Who knows,
exactly.
right? So, also,
Yeah,
I'm not in the ring. I'm not in the ring.
Yeah.
I don't know what he saw. I might have seen something different from my angle, and maybe he didn't see what I saw. So,
And I like most definitely, like you said earlier, you got to get from behind that phone. I've seen with my own eyes, and you know a few guys too, and Jessica most definitely know some of the same people I'm talking about. They have
Yeah.
better dogs at their home than some of these dogs we see Bashard in this damn ring.
yeah, for sure.
Great damn dogs.
And
You
they
know
don't
what
go
I'm
out.
saying? They don't go out. You know what I'm saying? And some people don't even post a damn dog. Like one guy I know, he don't do Facebook at all. The dog is like 4 years old. I mean, bad to the damn bone. 91 pounds and solid.
There's a
as
lot of
hell.
that.
Won't
There's
take
a lot
the
of
dog
that.
out. Won't take the
A
dog
lot
out.
of that. I've sold some big name dogs for $250, $300, $400, $500,000, and they're just pets. Those guys just wanted the dog because he was badass looking, and he's just a pet. He's just sitting on a couch somewhere, going for walks. Has his own nanny.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I
But
mean, and
that's a lot of dogs like that.
they gotta have that confidence. A lot of people too gotta have that confidence. Take it out at least 1 or 2 shows, man. Get your name out.
If they
You know what
care
I'm saying?
to, some people just don't care to. They just want the dog as a pet, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
I like selling dogs to people who just want a dog as a pet. You know what I mean?
yeah. I guess, yeah.
So the dog gets a better life.
very expensive pet. They just
Yeah,
want a pet.
maybe so, but like again,
Very-
expensive is
in the eye of the beholder, huh?
in the pocket of the beholder, I guess. But
Yeah,
I mean,
200,000 ain't nothing.
Yeah.
Some people, that's nothing.
it's different to each. It's different to each person. Like I remember when
Yeah.
I was younger and I didn't have money and I was really broke and I was working for minimum wage and going to school. Like $5 was a lot of money for me. If I lost a $5 bill because it fell in my pocket, I stressed because I barely made my bills at the end of the month. And
Yeah.
today I parked my car valet. I told the guy $100. It's like, to someone else, they work all day to make that $100. I just toss it
Yeah.
over for valet. Sometimes I valet 3 times in one night. Depends if I keep moving the car. So it's like it's just depends on what you're working with. So for someone who has 30, 40, 50, 60 million dollars in his bank, to spend 500 grand on a dog,
Yeah,
it's not the end of the world. He probably makes that in a week.
yeah, make that back in a week. Yeah,
Right. So the average
See-
person spends $5,000 or let's say $3,000 on a pet, right? An average good pet dog is $2,000-$3,000, right? So,
Mhm.
they probably make that in a month. This guy probably makes that in a week. So to him, it's not a big deal.
Yeah. And see me.
Matter of fact, the person who bought, I can't mention the name because I'm not allowed to use his name for promotion, but the person who bought Yuki made $1
Yeah.
billion last year. So that
Man.
400K he gave me was chump change. And it was a tax
Drop-
deduction. So
drop in the bucket. That's crazy. And see, I get excited when I make $8,000-$9,000. I think
Yeah.
I did good. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get that one day. You know what I'm saying? I sell me old pup 6,000-7,000. I think I'm good. You know.
I get it. I mean, it's everything. Everything is in perspective. You know what I mean? Everything's in perspective. But
Yes.
I'm always keep in mind that I know what is a lot of money to others, and I never tell someone, well, that's just $5 grand. It's not a big deal. No, it's a big deal to some people. $5 grand is a lot of money, And in reality, to the average person, it really is. It really is a lot of money. It's their more than our monthly income, you know.
That's
So-
crazy. That's
so it's
crazy.
just
But see,
depends.
the thing I most definitely love most about what you got going, how you came about, bro. You not too big to steal. Do your thing. Give to the people. You know, hand out that very important small piece
No
of
one is.
info that
No one is too big to do that, bro. No one is. If you feel
There you
you're
go.
too big to do that, you have an ego problem again. And I hate egos, bro. A lot of people call me arrogant, and I always ask myself, like, why do they think I'm arrogant? There's a difference between confidence and arrogance, but
big
you know, at the end of the day, they don't like when I tell the truth either.
big difference.
What-
You know what I'm saying? And see, people get it confused with self-esteem.
Yeah.
You know,
If I state something that I believe is a fact, it doesn't mean it because I'm arrogant. You know, I know where my failures are, and I know where my weaknesses are, and you know, and I know where my strong suits are at the same time. So it's like you have to know everything about yourself.
Yo,
They're
of
too busy
course.
knowing everything about everyone else, or think they do, then never pay attention. They never look in the mirror.
That's right. Because if you don't know them things, you'll never know what need to be fixed about you. You know
Exactly.
what I'm saying? Like I always tell my kid, turn your weaknesses into your strengths.
Yeah.
Work on that. If you know you need to be work on, you will most definitely get along better with society and yourself. If you're so
Absolutely.
busy looking over here, you'll never know what's in front of you here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Power of
most
perception.
definitely-
Power of perception is what I teach my kids all the time. You had a bad day, something bad happened. Okay, let's think how we can make that bad into a positive. You know, don't dwell on the bad. It's done. It happened. It's finished. You can't change it. Now let's think either how we fix it or how we turn it into something good. And at the worst case scenario, let's turn it into a lesson so that at least we learn from it.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah.
That's
Your
the
daughter
key.
got her doctorate, didn't it? Your daughter just got her doctorate, right?
My daughter, yeah, she's in her residency, so she's got 3 years.
Congratulations
3
on
years
that,
to go.
man. Congratulations on that, bro.
They're a little genius.
Congratulations.
Pretty much everyone in my family but me are doctors, so I'm the only one. When I was
you didn't take the other route, just entrepreneur. That's build yourself. Man.
well, you know what it is. I don't like other people's blood. It used to freak me out. You know, I used to fight when I was a kid in judo, and I chose judo. I did karate too, but I wouldn't compete in karate because people would bleed, and I was very paranoid of other people's blood. And I remember even like in the streets when I get into a fist fight with someone and they start bleeding, I was like, "Oh, you win! I quit," and I would walk away. Even though I was winning, I didn't care. No, I give up. You win. Just don't touch me with that blood. So I got over it with time, but I just never liked other people's blood. It used to freak me out. I'd like gag even when I see it. So,
Yeah.
you know, that was like, I can't be a doctor. I can't even be around, and I didn't like sick people. If you were sick, I didn't want to be around you. I was just like not a, you know, wash my hands 10 times a day. I was a little bit of a germaphobe. So a doctor was not the field I was going to go into. I tried to go into law. I did, you know, study criminology. And I was making too much money. It was making no sense to pay for school.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I got my degree in criminology, and I was like, I'm not going to law school, man. I'm done. I'm already in debt. I have to pay these debts off. So
So I'm already dead. Ain't nothing wrong with it, man. Ain't nothing wrong with it. I most definitely, man, can't wait to see you down there, man, in Houston, man. It's been a minute since we linked up. We got to, man, most definitely get on some of this dog business. Yeah.
all right, we'll do that.
It's most definitely, man. And good luck and great looking out on that YouTube, man. I like that video because that last one, I'm gonna tell you now, I saved that most definitely to one of my files. You most
The last video, you liked it?
Yeah, I like that. You know what I'm saying? I tunes in, man, just faithfully. If I ain't got a lot going on, I got the kids put down, bro. You're not gonna move me. I most definitely catches up on a lot because it's, man, us as a dog community, man, so much going on. You'll be forever trying to keep up on what's going on, what's hot, what's not, what blood is coming out, who's creating this and doing that, and flying in dogs, and it's crazy. And then, you know, so you got 2-3 things going on your platform. You got that big facility across the seas, and you'll be forever, bro. It'll be, and you got a lot. You just you got dogs you ain't even showed. That's the thing I like.
We got a lot.
Y'all got a
I mean,
lot.
it's definitely just not a one-person operation. I mean, I have a whole team, and all my partners are great. And if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be where we are today. I can't do this by myself. And you know, there's no such thing as self-made either. You know, they all help me get where I am, and I help them get where they are. So it's it's all group effort. You know what I mean? So
Exactly.
no one's
You've
self-made.
been on tour. You was on tour with King Kong. You not got what that was like a month or so ago. You just got off tour with King Kong.
2 months ago. Yeah, 2 months ago. Yep.
You see all that that's going on?
Yeah, it goes quick.
You hit like what? You hit 3-4 countries?
Yeah, I think so. 3, 4. Yeah, 4 countries. Yeah.
See what I'm talking about? That's a lot.
Mhm. Yeah.
That's a lot. When I start hitting country with my man, it's gonna be up.
Yeah, it's a lot, especially when you're flying in a plane with a dog between your legs for like 10 hours.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
I'm trying to tell you, man. I like what you got going on, man. I'm a big fan of what you got going on. It's very few guys like us, man, that's been breeding this long. Like, okay, I've been breeding 35 years, but see, when I'm breeding 35, I'm talking about what I did with my granddad with the hunting dogs and learning how to AI and all this other stuff that you got to sometimes do yourself. Before getting in the bully game, it's like 22, 21 years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I came in, man, when it was just, I think the first ABKC show was in, what's the name, Backyard or something like that during that time. It's been a long time. Long time I've been there. And man, and I'm still trying to get it where I got to get it. But man, I know you got your family thing you're going to be doing here in a little bit. I'm not going to hold you long, but thanks for coming on the show. Most definitely, we got a lot of business we gotta get to, man.
Sounds good, man. We'll talk soon. I appreciate the invite, and my next. You know what? You just gave me an idea. I think my next because I was wondering what I was going to do for my next YouTube, but you just gave me an idea. I think I'm going to do my next YouTube on supplements and peptides for the dogs. That's what I'm going to do for my next one. I appreciate it. Thank you for the idea, bro.
The guy, he texted us like, "Yeah, we finna get to it, man." Because you got some big, you got some big boys, man. Them some big dogs out there, man. But you can let the everybody know where to find you at, man, before we get out of here. And I most definitely appreciate you coming on the platform again. Let them know.
Okay, will do. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Give them your platform information before you go, Bashard.
All right, so for the website, it's MuscleToneBullies.com, and for my YouTube channel, it's just MuscleTone Bullies, and that's YS at the end, right? So MuscleTone BULLYS for both of them, for the website and for YouTube.
Yeah. Thanks again, and for everybody out there, don't forget November 14th, Monroe, Louisiana, the Bully Shakedown. Brought 2 of the belts. We got the hardware in. We're gonna have 4 belts, man. We're gonna be in the category giving away. And thanks again, Bashard. Until next time, peace.
Peace, man. Take it easy.
Thanks for watching the Boot Business Podcast.